Hey everyone, welcome to your practice for today. We have a slow flow practice for you today. If you ever see the word flow in your practice description, just expect that you will be moving from one posture to another without an awful lot of extended long pauses in your postures. Obviously, the word slow means that we will take our time as we're moving through them. Other examples of a flow class, you could see a power flow, a mindful flow. Yogis use all sorts of descriptors to give you an idea of what your practice might look like. All right, we'll begin today on your backs. So go ahead and find a comfortable reclined position. Could be your traditional Shavasana, could be supine Baddha Konasana with soles of the feet together, knees apart. Just go ahead and lay yourself back. Maybe place your hands on your belly, one hand on your heart. Maybe your arms are just open. But take the time to just ground yourself at the start of your practice. Always good to work on increasing the length of your inhale and your exhale. Draw your attention inward here. You could do a body scan, note any points of tension. As you inhale, try to breathe into the back ribs. As you exhale, make sure you're fully emptying the lungs. Let's take 2 more full breaths here. After your next exhale, you can go ahead and draw the knees into your chest. Make a tight ball. Maybe find some rocking side to side as you wake up your hips. You could be wrapping your arms around your shins. When you are ready, we're going to let those knees fall over to one side of your body. You can use your hand to support, but once they fall over to one side, go ahead and reach your arms out from your shoulders, palms to the floor, just a little gentle spinal twist. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can maintain that support with your hand, or if you have a yoga block, you could place it under the knees, maybe a bolster, a blanket. Continue that breath. After your next exhale, knees come back center, maybe you're supporting, and we'll take them across the center line to the second side. You can adjust your hip positioning if you need to, but once they get there, reach the arms from the shoulders. Maybe it feels good to take your gaze away from the twist. Again, knees back center, maybe with support. This time, take the hands behind the thighs and just begin some gentle front to back rocking. So we're not rushing. Take your time. Think about massaging your spine up and down. And eventually we'll come all the way up to seated. So I'm going to turn to face you all, but you can stay facing the front of your mat. Just an easy seat with the knees crossed. Once you are here, let's sit nice and tall. So ground through your sits bones, lift through the spine, any adjusting you need. And then we'll take the hands to the floor in front of our legs and begin to walk them forward. So whatever is your comfortable spot. With the legs crossed here, you're going to feel this stretch in one side more than the other. And of course, since we're at the beginning of the practice, just take your time with things. Your body isn't too awake just yet. Bring the hands back toward your body as you lift yourself back upright. Once you are seated nice and tall, go ahead and reach your hands forward, sweep them around behind your back, and then interlace your fingers. So, like this. Interlacing your fingers behind your back, shift them over to your left hip. Sit up tall, and then allow your left ear to fall to your left shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch along the right side. And maybe you turn your head, little micro movements to find a juicy stretch here. Continuing to sit up nice and tall. One more inhale. As you exhale, gently release. You can release your hands to the knees and then just be gentle with the neck as you loosen it back up. All right, we're going to switch the cross of the legs. So go ahead and rock back. Take the opposite leg in front. It's going to feel different. That's just fine. Again, sitting up nice and tall. So feel those sits bones pressing into the floor and then reach the top of your head to the ceiling. Hands to the floor in front of your legs. Walk it forward nice and slow. Maybe it feels a little different on this side. Always good to practice asymmetrical postures on both sides. Where can you find length? Hands walk back toward your body as you lift up. Reach the arms forward, sweep them around back, and this time you're going to interlace with the opposite thumb on top. So for me, that's my left thumb. Sitting up nice and tall, and then I work my hands over to my right hip. Again, sitting up tall, right ear to right shoulder. A nice neck stretch here. So good for those of us that hold tension in the top of our shoulders, in our neck. You can gently release that. Bring the hands to the tops of the knees. And again, just some side to sides. Maybe you hear a little crinkle. All right, we're going to rock through into tabletop. So over those legs, and I'll turn sideways so that you can see me a little better. In tabletop, we'll move into some traditional cat-cow work, okay? So on your inhale, allow your belly to drop, lift the gaze. On your exhale, pull the navel into spine, press into the hands and shins, take your eyes to your thighs. And then continue that with your own breath. I have been shocked at how my cat-cow has changed with regular practice. I used to think that it was just a very simple movement, but the more I continue it, the deeper I can take the posture. It's a really good flexion and extension practice of your spine. All right. Bringing it back to tabletop. Let's begin to rock side to side, and you're lifting one hand at a time. As you're rocking, begin to turn your fingers out to the sides. So we're starting to wake up the wrists here. Maybe you stop with your fingers just turned out to the side of the mat, or maybe you can continue until your fingers are turned all the way in towards your body. Whew, my wrists are tight. Once you get the fingers turned in toward your body, you're welcome to pause, find some movement front to back. When you're ready, you can take that rocking side to side again and take your time as you bring the fingers back toward the front edge of your mat. Then let's work on wrist flexion. So shift your weight over to the right hand. Take your left hand, top of the hand to the mat, fingers toward your body, and you are in control of your weight here. So if it's a lot, lessen it. And we'll switch sides. So left hand normal, right hand, top of the hand to the mat, fingers toward your body. You may have a much bigger range of motion than I have here. I don't have an awful lot of mobility in my wrists. If you're hypermobile, please always be careful with how far you take these stretches. I think you probably would be aware at this point if you have hypermobility. That's where you have to gauge how far you take things and make sure it stays safe. All right, we've got those wrists warmed up. Bringing it back to your tabletop. On an inhale, reach your right arm overhead and pause here. We're working into a bird dog. With the right arm overhead, make sure your left fingertips are spread wide. And when you're ready, inhale, left leg lifts behind your body. Pause. All right, so we're just holding this stable. Bring the navel up, supporting from your abdomen. On an inhale, lift a half-inch higher. Exhale, bring the knee to elbow under your body, round through the spine. Inhale, find length. We're just going to do 3 of these. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more lengthen extension. With control, lower the hand and knee down to the mat. Second side. Inhale, left arm reaches overhead. Pause. When you feel good, on your next inhale, lengthen the right leg behind you. So we're trying to keep everything square to the mat. You're not dipping into one hip more than the other. Lift a half-inch higher, and then on your exhale, round knee to elbow under your spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Last one, knee to elbow, crunch it in. Inhale, find extension. Lower with control. All right. From here, let's find your first down dog. So tuck your toes under, walk your hands forward a step. Take a soft bend of your elbows. Begin to press into your hands and your feet as you peel your hips up and back to your first down dog. First down dog of any practice, pedal it out. Take your time. And when you're ready, tiny little baby steps of the feet toward the front of your mat, working toward a forward fold. So in your forward fold, just let your upper body get heavy. Maybe you shake your head yes, shake your head no, clear your neck. You could find some big swaying motion. Bring yourself back center. We'll begin to rise, just rolling one vertebra at a time. So take your time. Once you get to the top, bring those shoulders up toward your ears, nice and high. Open them toward the back, round them down. We're in mountain at the front of your mat, palms forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out, up, overhead, extended mountain. Exhale, hinge from your waist, swan dive into your forward fold. Inhale, lift to a halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. We'll plant the hands, step your left foot back only, and pause. So this is our first runner's lunge of the practice. You're opening through this back hip. So I like a little motion. Fingertips are light. Plant your hands, step yourself back to a high plank, lower the knees down, untuck the toes. Shift your hips forward, modified chaturanga. Lower all the way to your belly. And from your belly, we'll take some cobra rolls. So you can start with the gaze at the mat, press into your hands, begin to lift, eyes are last. So a nice little baby cobra first. Lower down, eyes last to lower. Press to support as you lift a little higher. Next cobra roll. Lower on down. Keep your elbows squeezed into your sides. Last cobra roll, press. You can go as high as you want. Maybe you feel good for a full cobra. We'll lower down. Press to hands and knees, tabletop. Tuck the toes, we're moving to another down dog. So spread the fingers. Soft bend of the elbows, peel the hips. A little less time in this down dog. Baby steps again toward the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms up, out, overhead. Exhale, hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right foot steps back this time. So second side of this runner's lunge, try to even out, warming up your hips. It's a slower flow, so just take your time. When you feel good and open through that back hip, you can plant the hands, step it back to a high plank, lower the knees, untuck the toes, hips forward, elbows in tight, lower down, press up to your cobra or up dog, and then let's find a child's pose for a second. So you are welcome to stay in your child's pose. You could grab a quick drink of water. I just want to talk to you about where we're headed. We are going to continue the flow a couple of times, both on the right and the left side. As you move through this flow, you will have options for a vinyasa. Right now, I just took you through the modified chaturanga, which I highly suggest if you feel like you're still building strength. Modified chaturanga with the knees on the mat is a great option. A vinyasa, in case you need a reminder on your terminology, is from the high plank through chaturanga to cobra or up dog, and then usually meeting back in down dog. So we have some options as we move forward. You can take the modified chaturanga through your vinyasa, or you are welcome to skip your vinyasa. If you are feeling super exhausted, if you just want to meet me in down dog, when you get to the high plank portion, instead of going through the chaturanga, cobra up dog, you could just go here to here. Totally your choice, okay? We are gonna run through that flow 2 more times on both sides. So if you are still in child's pose, or even if you're not, we are going to meet in a tabletop position. So go ahead and find that tabletop. Spread your fingers, maybe walk the hands forward, tuck the toes. We're moving to down dog. So press into the hands and feet, hips up and back. This time on an inhale, look forward. You can step, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive back into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step your right foot back. We're in a left side low lunge. I'm going to switch up sides for this one. From your left side low lunge, I'd like you to look down and make sure your feet are about hip width. Lighten your fingertips so you feel like you could lift with stability. Keep your back heel high. And then we'll reach the arms forward up overhead. Crescent lunge. Okay, so your crescent lunge might look different. That's totally fine. You could have a bend of the back knee, but the goal is to keep that front knee over your ankle. Hips might want to open to the side. Try to keep them forward. We're going to take one more breath in your crescent lunge, and then spin your back heel down, open to warrior two, left side. So energy out your fingertips. From warrior two, straighten your front leg, turn to the side wall, and make sure your toes are turned out slightly as you inhale the arms overhead. This is star pose. Then bend the knees, bend the elbows, horse pose, sometimes called goddess pose. Good to build strength in your lower body. I like to have a little motion. Next, exhale, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, star pose. Cartwheel those hands to frame your front foot. Come onto the ball of your back foot. Step it back to high plank. Move through your vinyasa. Chaturanga, cobra or up dog, to down dog. Couple of breaths in down dog. On your inhale, look to the front of your mat, step, hop, float. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, left foot steps back this time. Left side runners, I'm making adjustments to make sure my feet are not like on a tightrope. They have some space. Then when you feel good, reach the arms forward up overhead, crescent lunge. Now, as we hold here for a second, if you ever get your sides mixed up and you find that you're on the left, I'm on the right, don't worry about it. Just make sure you don't do the same side twice. From your crescent lunge, keep that deep bend of the front knee. Spin the back heel open to warrior two. All right, in my warrior two, I've got energy out that outer edge of my back foot. Shoulders are stacked over the hips rather than here. We are stacked. Straighten the front leg, turn to the side, toes turned out. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, horse pose. Goddess pose. Keep a nice heavy tailbone here. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs, star pose. Cartwheel the hands to frame your front foot. Step back to your high plank, knees lifted or lowered. You have chaturanga, cobra or up dog, down dog. All right, we're adding on. Option from your down dog to lift the right leg high. Step the right foot through, right side, runner's lunge. Left foot steps to meet the right, forward fold. Reverse swan dive as you reach overhead. Exhale, hinge from the waist, swan dive into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step your left foot back, right side runner's lunge. Reach the arms forward up overhead, crescent lunge, right side. Spin the back heel open to your warrior two, right side. From your right side warrior two, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. So you're lifting the right arm up, gazing up and under that right arm. Keep the deep bend of the front leg. And lift yourself back upright to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, pivot to the side, star pose. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, horse. Press the arms and legs long, star pose. And then exhale your hands to heart center. We are going to move to Skandasana at the back of the mat. So you might need to adjust your turnout, but begin to shift your weight toward the back of the mat as you bend that back knee. Send your hips back. Skandasana. Now, you might be here in Skandasana, which is where I normally take it. Or you might be able to keep this heel on the floor as you lower even further. Just breathe. This foot is flexed. You can use your hands here to support as you walk toward the front of the mat, finding that right side runner's lunge. Plant the hands, step yourself back. You've got a chaturanga to cobra or up dog. Down dog. One more flow on the left side. Option to inhale, left leg high. Draw that left knee in toward your nose, step it through, and then step the right foot to meet the left. Forward fold, front of the mat. Reverse swan dive, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hinge from the waist, send it back into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right foot steps back. Sweep the arms forward, up overhead, left side crescent. Breathe. Spin the back heel, open to your warrior two. In your warrior two, that back foot is kind of on a diagonal, like toes toward the front corner of your mat. Ooh. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, looking up and under that front arm. Lift back up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, turn to the side, toes turned out, inhale, star pose. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, horse pose. Extend the arms and legs, star pose. Exhale your hands to heart center, Skandasana at the back of the mat. Shift your weight, bend your back knee, send the hips back and down, flex that front foot. Keep your gaze lifted. Hands or no hands as you walk toward the front of the mat, find that left side runner's lunge. Plant the hands, step yourself back, a vinyasa. And let's meet in child's pose. All right, so stay in your child's pose. We've been through the flow part of class. We're going to move on. I always like to include a little balance practice in my classes, so we'll move to a balancing posture. Welcome to grab a quick sip right now if you'd like. Otherwise, if you're in child's pose, press into your hands, come to tabletop, make your way to standing. So you can be at the front of your mat, but I'm going to stay turned to the side here. Take your feet about hip width. Now, most people tend to overestimate the width of their hips, so you might be here. This is not hip width. Hip width is about this far, and you can test yourself by taking two fists, place them together, and then put them in between your feet. It's about hip width. All right, so we are hip width in mountain pose, palms forward. All right, begin to shift your weight over into your right foot. Come into the ball of your left. Then turn your left heel in toward your inner right ankle and pause here in a kickstand. This is your first tree expression, okay? You can stay right here for your tree pose if balance is a challenge for you and work your way. If you know you want to take it to a further expression, you can go ahead and use your hands or no hands as you float that left leg higher along the right, finding some point along that inner right leg. Tree. Knee is open to the side body. Hands can be here, here, here. Your choice, your expression. That contact point, squeeze toward the center and you'll find some more stability. All right, you can stay here in tree, try a different expression, or if you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, take that left foot, remove it and cross it over the right knee, send the hips back and down, find a chair pose. So this is figure 4 chair. You might be here, you might be here. Your choice. We're just holding, breathing, practicing that balance. If you're in tree, gently remove the foot, come back to standing. If you're in figure 4 chair, you can release to a forward fold, whichever. Shake the legs out a little bit. And we'll come back to standing for the second side. Feet about hip width, palms forward, shoulders open. This time, shift your weight over to the left foot. Come onto the ball of the right. Turn that inner ankle, that heel in toward your inner ankle. And then choose your expression of tree, second side. If you are wobbly, totally fine. Hop back in. You can fall out. If you keep a soft bend of that standing leg, it should help you balance a little more rather than tensing up and fighting the wobbles. Try to find a non-moving focal point in front of you. That's called the drishti. Stay in tree, or you can find figure 4 chair. Hips back and down. Breathe. Maybe a little deeper. Last couple of breaths. Release either standing or to a forward fold. Shake out your legs. And then wherever you are, go ahead and find a tabletop position in the middle of your mat. You're going to take some stationary stretching poses to round out your practice. So from tabletop, step your right foot outside your right hand. Go forward. You can use your hands to shift it forward if you need help. Then from there, shift your left knee back any amount and keep your hips forward. This is lizard posture. You can start on straight arms. If you'd like to deepen it, you can bring it down to one, maybe both forearms on the floor. I like to stay up here. Wherever you are, make sure your hips are forward. So we're not here, we're here. And you're breathing into the front of that left hip here. Hands inside the foot. If you're on your forearms, press yourself up to straight arm. Begin to walk those hands back toward your body as you extend your right leg. Take your right hand outside that leg and maybe shift your ankle a little further in front, so straight ahead. Half hamstring. Flex the foot, sit the hips back and down, breathe. Now this one, your knee can be bent, absolutely. This is an intense back of the leg stretch. And then walk the hands forward to come on out, back into tabletop. When you get back to tabletop, step the left foot outside the left hand. Shift your right knee back. Let the hips be heavy. Lizard, second side. If you're on forearms, press to straight arms. Walk the hands back, straighten that left leg. Take it inside, straight in front of the hip. Sit those hips back down. Breathe. Peel the toes toward your body. So in these stretching postures, sensation is beneficial, but if you ever feel sharp pain, make sure you back off. Walk those hands forward. Bring it to tabletop. And then let's just find seated. When you get to your seated posture, extend your legs in front of your body. Sit up tall, Dandasana. Flex the feet. This is staff pose. Reach the arms overhead. Hinge from your waist. Send it into a forward fold. Again, you can bend the knees to lessen the intensity. You could be here. Totally fine. Breathe. Begin to lift yourself back upright. Step your left foot in toward the inner right thigh. Sit nice and tall and wrap your right arm around the left leg. Bring your left hand behind you for a seated twist. You can stay here or you can work that right elbow outside the knee to deepen. I like to think length through the spine on the inhale, depth of the twist on the exhale. Next exhale, you'll release and switch sides, left leg long, right leg bent, foot in toward the inner left thigh, sit up tall, left arm wraps, right hand comes behind. Imagine your waistline is a dish towel here, so you are wringing it out with the twist. On the exhale, you can release center, extend both legs in front of your body. Reach the arms forward as you slowly lower down. So you might need to scoot forward. Make sure your head remains on your mat as you lower all the way down to reclined. And then we'll bend the knees and walk the feet in toward your hips, about hip width. Place your hands on the floor, palms down toward your hips. Keep your gaze toward the ceiling. As you inhale, press into the hands, press into the feet. Peel your hips up for bridge pose. A little back extension after all of the forward folding we've been doing. On an exhale, gently lower yourself down and hug your knees into your chest. Moving toward happy baby here. Open your knees outside your rib cage. Bring your feet toward the ceiling. Now you've got some options. You can keep your hands right here on the calves, gently drawing the knees down toward the floor, feet stacked. You could work your hands up toward your ankles. You could take the hands to the outer edges of your feet. I like to take peace fingers around your big toes. So your first two fingers around your big toes for a little bind. Or a more advanced option would be to wrap, send your arms through the legs outside to the outer edges of your feet. Whichever option you choose, just gentle weight, bringing those knees down toward the floor, opening through the hips, or compressing through the hips, I should say. You could extend one or both legs. And then hug the knees into your chest. Extend your left leg long, right knee stays in. Breathe. Let that left leg be nice and heavy. Draw the right knee across the center line toward the other side. Reach your right arm out from the shoulder. Another reclined twist. Your gaze can be anywhere that is comfortable to you. And use your hand to support as you bring it back center to switch sides. So left knee comes in, right leg extends. Hold here for a second. Maybe you're drawing that left knee outside your ribs to pull it even tighter. Begin to move that left knee across the center line. Reach the left arm out from the shoulder. You might adjust. Might feel some popping. You can use that opposite hand and place it on top of the knee to deepen your twist. As you release back center, let's give one more hug of the knees to the chest. So tight ball, you might even lift your forehead toward the knees. And then we'll extend for your final Shavasana corpse pose. If you're taking traditional Shavasana, allow your ankles to fall open, turn the palms to the ceiling, and then once you're here, maybe you walk those wrists forward a little further to drop the shoulders away from your ears. Allow your eyes to close here and just try to soften, melt into your mat. Or taking the crease away from in between your eyebrows, releasing the jaw. If any thoughts come to mind here, just let them pass. I highly encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you are able, as feels good to you. It is the most important part of any asana practice, the final rest afterward. Really good to practice slowing down. You all did great today. Nice work on your slow flow practice. I will see you again for your next practice.